All right, welcome everybody to the Paranormal Portal. It's Wednesday night. It's hump day, and my dander is all raised because I've been playing chess with technical issues. Always after I do the member streams, and it takes a special configuration to stream to just members. So I gotta change all the normal settings and get it all configured correctly, and then I do that. Then when I go back to do the regular live streams, it is just like somebody threw a monkey wrench in the works, and I got all kinds of weird issues. But now I just tested it after we went live. I'm like, I'm going to just try the chat thing one more time, and it works. So as I'm sitting here, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to have to go through all these screens and re-enable the chat the way that it's best so that we can see what the hell everybody's saying over on the other platforms. And there we go. I got this one done. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone. I've got my right-hand guy here hanging out with me. The one, the only, the captain of all things dangerous. It is Mr. Chucky Danger. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, friend. Good evening.
It is a good evening. Thanks for coming on with me again. This is unusual for you to do a Wednesday night, but I'm gonna get you reframed in here and hopefully be able to see more of your head.
Sure.
There you are. All right. That's more review. But thanks for coming on, man. It was good that it worked out for a Wednesday show. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are Wednesdays usually open for you? Is this maybe a future trend that we can look into?
I mean, possibly. Every other week, sure. I mean, when I don't have my son, it's nice and quiet in the house.
Right. I gotcha. No worries. Okay. Well, very cool. It's great to have you here, man. Thank you so much. Of course, hello to all of you guys, wherever you're watching. We're streaming on 5 platforms. We are streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Facebook Live. We're streaming on X and Twitch and Rumble. So we got all those platforms. I got Big D and Barbara and Car Juice over there in Rumble. Good to see you guys. T-Bone's rolling in deep right away. Oh my God.
Coming in hot.
It's coming in hot.
Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you so much. I just realized I didn't redo the chat here, so let's do that and get up our other chat. There we go. I guess I gotta. Oh Jesus, I'm hitting the wrong thing. Sorry, just trying to frame my life, Chucky. But yes, thank you, T-Bone. Let's see what happened. Let's see. I got some reading to do here. T-Bone, ladies and gentlemen, who's been a long-time friend and supporter of the show, an incredible guy, has gifted 10 memberships to the Paranormal Portal members, channel members here on YouTube. And so who got them? Well, Sinfully Wicked got one of them. Z got the other one. Lulu Bell got one. Smokin' Joe got one. Dakota Illicit. I see what you did there. Well, that's cool. Dakota, good to see you. Susie got one. Rough Rider got one. Vicky Parker got one. Irish got one, as well as Cryptid Castleberry Paranormal. Very cool. Very cool. So congratulations, all 10 of you. You are now 1 month members of the show, courtesy of the amazing T-Bone himself. Thanks, T-Bone, man, for making that possible. I really appreciate it. Maybe if you guys like it, you'll decide to continue to be members, and that would be amazing as well. So, Chucky, do you want to do some shout outs for who's here on YouTube's?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the member list here.
Absolutely.
Actually, the participant list.
Yes, sir. The participants it is.
We've got Bad Boy Channel. We got BJ LaPierre. Dakota Ellis.
Illicit. That's a new name, by the way.
Actually.
Oh, is there?
There's Dakota Ellis and Dakota Ellis.
Illicit. Oh, okay. I didn't see the other one. All right. Very cool. Wow. Oh, yeah, there is, isn't there? Someone's double dipping, I'm betting, because that's the same spelling.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Double
okay.
memberships, too.
I know. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, all good. Deborah Neighbors, Drake, Eric Frey, Exploring the Caw with Ra Casteldo.
Hey, Ra. Good to see you, brother.
Hello, Friend.
Hello,
Hooking
friend.
Good Creations by Tina. Karen Elberding. Punk My Video. That's a new name.
Punk My Video.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Rachel Gets It Right. Ron the Sage.
Oh,
T-Bone. Ron. Truth or Tinfoil. Wizard Moon. And Yeshua Reloaded.
Oh my God. It's a full boat so far, and we're just getting started here, so that just means the party's just going to just keep growing, right? Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Ooh, thanks, Linda.
What happened to Linda? What did she do?
Gifted another membership.
Woo! Oh man, look at that. And it looks like our very own longtime friend Justin Goodearth got another free membership. Very cool, man. You're rolling some pretty good luck there, brother. Thank you, Linda, for making that happen. Congratulations, Justin. Appreciate that you are now officially a member once again. Hold on, I'm just refreshing this because I realized I forgot one other thing, Chucky. You want to know what that is?
What would that be?
I forgot to pull up any news.
Oh, kind of important for the news.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to do the news. Let's see. This one sounds kind of weird. That one sounds weird. All right, and this one, that sounds cool. Well, that's weird. That one's. I mean, it's tough on Wednesdays, Chucky, because there's so many. I mean, it's all new stories, and I haven't seen them until I go and look, and I'm like, oh. Wow. Ooh. And then I try to figure out which one am I covering today. But all right. Mm-hmm. I think I got several pulled up. I don't know if we'll get to, we'll get to about 3 of them tonight, but we'll be doing the news, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first on the roster. And then we're going to crawl into an article that we've been working on from Thought Catalog. It is 33 paranormal stories even skeptics are going to freak out over. And I think we're on 14. So that's where we're at now for that one. And then we're going to get to what the hell is that and the cryptid corner and see where the hell we are. I mean, I am so unprepared for tonight. I can't believe it. Chucky, you'd swear I'd never been doing this show before. But then, and I think I'm all good. And then there's the technical problems. And then I'm like, oh, wait, while I was wrestling with all those technical problems, I didn't do any of my job.
Like me yesterday, I went to go record an episode, and the neighbors are driving a Bobcat with the backup beeper all day.
Woo! Woohoo! That sounds like a great episode. Sounds like you're recording
I
the
didn't
portal.
even I didn't even try.
No, I wouldn't either. No, absolutely not.
No.
That would be horrifying.
I went to lie in bed after we had that little members chat last night and
Yeah.
still backup beeper. I was like, come on, guys.
What are they doing? Digging a pool over there, or what the hell's going on?
I think they're having septic field problems.
Ooh, yeah, that'll wreck your life for a while for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
thankfully I haven't smelled nothing. So
yeah, you must be downwind or upwind or however that works. So it's worked out for you. That's good, because that's foul. You know, I don't know if they have a lot of these up in your neck of the woods, Chuck. But I'm from Minnesota. It's very agriculture there, and it's a fresh slice of hell in the summertime when you drive by a pig farm.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm telling you, whatever the hell they're feeding those pigs, it just comes out much worse. And it's this acidy, pungent, horrible smell.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes like it's not like you smell it. It's like it gets buried up in your sinus cavity, and it's like something you think about for the rest of the day almost. I don't know.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to anybody that works there. I've got family members that work on a pig farm and stuff, and that's fine. But I couldn't do it. I don't think I could ever get used to that smell. But
We got a giant chicken farm in town, and it's just as bad.
really, chickens?
Oh yeah, like when they open up the chicken barns, like you can smell it all the way downtown, and it's absolutely brutal.
Gives you that hankering for some KFC sometime soon, huh?
Nope.
Nope. You're starting to think about going vegan right about then, huh?
No, that's not gonna slow me down.
I'll still chew some meat, but I just don't like the smell of it while it's alive. Isn't there a dog man in the land between the lakes in Minnesota? Not that I know of. Land between the lakes, I'm trying to remember what state that is in. It's down south in the U.S., but there is, I'm sure there's dogman reports everywhere, and it's, Minnesota's called the land of 10,000 lakes because there really is a ton of lakes there. In fact, I don't know how it works out, but I think it's maybe one of the top states in the entire U.S. for shoreline because of all the lakes and ponds and waterways and such that, cumulatively there's a ton of shoreline. But I don't know of any place that's called land between the lakes. I know there's the boundary waters up by Canada, where Minnesota meets Canada. Those are called the boundary waters. But I'm sure there's dogman reports. They're really, for whatever reason, and I don't know why, but I've just never been able to find a nerve center for those kind of reports. Like I'll find that several dogman reports are recorded over on Lon Strickler's site, Phantoms and Monsters, and that's really fascinating. And I love reading them when I come across them. But there's not like a BFRO for like dogman, is there? Have you ever heard of one, Chucky?
I know there's some groups of guys that take a lot of dogman reports, but it's not something that I particularly track
Right.
really heavily.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know like Linda Godfrey, God bless her, God rest her soul. She did a lot of amazing work in Wisconsin, which is of course right next to Minnesota, over on the Kettle Moraine area, and the Bray Road area, of course, where Lee Hempel still has his house and allows people to come in. But other than her, there's Vic Cundiff that does the Dogman Encounters show, and I know he's probably fielded a ton of reports, but I just don't hear very much about the Dogman, and I'd love to hear more. I just don't know where are these stories getting posted, or where is there a repository of some kind. So if any of you find one, there must be.
I've heard of like the very rare account of Dogman stories in British Columbia, but it's few and far between. And I haven't seen a lot of good like physical evidence, like tracks or anything like that.
Yep.
So it's really hard to get legitimate stories.
Yes, I agree with that, and maybe it's also part of it is that you need a witness, and for some reason the Dogman witnesses
leaves no witnesses.
Well, either they're not able to give you a witness because they no longer exist, or they're just maybe a little more careful Like Bigfoot, I don't know. I think they're incredibly stealthy, and they're very what's the word I'm looking for? Very elusive. But
Hmm.
maybe Dogman's even more so. I don't know, but it doesn't seem
Well, I
like there's.
mean, look at that Facebook Live video where the person was filming and they got
Yeah,
that dog man in the background.
that was in Florida of all places. I was surprised, and it didn't look like it was incredibly rural either. It looked like it was more, I don't know, suburban kind of setting or something.
Yeah, yeah,
But
something like
that's
that.
not
Like it was
uncommon
under a
either.
street light.
Yeah, yeah, it walked under a streetlight.
Hmm.
But Monica Rollins of our paranormal world, her sighting was during the day driving through some, I don't know if it was what town it was in, but it was in Texas, and she was just driving along in the suburban neighborhood and looked up in the yard and there was a huge dog man just kind of checking her out, and it was this surreal experience, but. I'm not sure if I understand the situation with Dogman. If they are more physical and less spiritual, or interdimensional, or are they more less physical and more energetic? I don't know, because that video you're talking about is barely tangible. I mean, you can definitely make out
It's
that it's some kind of creature.
kind of semi-translucent.
Right, that's what I'm kind of shocked by, but it's clearly something walking and taking steps. So it's like it's really there doing it. It's not some trick of the light or some pareidolia of some swirling cloud or mist. I mean,
Hmm.
you can clearly see this thing is taking steps and it's kind of hunched over as it's doing it. But it really made me kind of consider, wait, maybe this one is really less physical than we think a lot of the times. And
Could be.
but again, I don't understand that. I don't know what that means. But I think Dogman is a fascinating topic. But it's just not one that I've ever really found a ton of reports on for my show and for me to
Yeah.
cover. And I've never had a witness, I don't think, come up talking about Dogman. Honestly, I've had witnesses that I've talked to about a ton of things, and one of the things they've experienced is a Dogman, but it's more incidental, or it's more an addendum to anything else they're talking about. So, yeah, I don't know,
Hmm.
but I love those stories of like the what is the one where the siege at Honobia or whatever, that
Oh yeah.
that one is pretty incredible. But there are pretty incredible stories out there. I just don't get them. Brent, there's the North American Dogman Project, a group of volunteers in many states. Rachel says, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna have to look into that. If you find a link to that, Rachel, it would help. If you don't mind, if you can email me or send it to me through one of the messages where we're intertwined, or on Discord. That would be really cool, because I'd like to look into that more, or see if they have reports on there to read through. That'd be fun.
I mean, what we really need is something like the equivalent of the Patterson Gimlin footage for Dogman.
Yeah,
And then we can really get some like good
momentum.
theories on these things.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe the closest we're going to get is that Florida video, because,
Maybe.
well, I mean,
Which is pretty crummy.
I'll have to look that up, see if we can find that for one of these. What the hell is that? In case people out there are like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. What do you mean this video out of Florida? It's pretty incredible, and I know that Dark Waters covered it quite heavily.
Hmm.
I think he was in contact with the guy and talked to him,
Okay.
in firsthand. But they put out this video, and it's like, my God, that's really something. There really was a one in a billion kind of thing, but they got it. Why don't we bring one in from the other side for you? No, thanks, Biff. Steve, Biff Saunders over on Facebook. I'm good, thank you. I'm for all the cryptid stuff, I'm really okay appreciating it from afar. Like, I don't need to have up close and personal again. I got growled at when I was 14, and that was like one of the most scary things, even to this day, that I've ever experienced. And that was good enough. If I never see another one, okay.
Yeah, it'll send shivers down your spine.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, I've got some news articles opened up. I just was reading Whispering Portal's name. Good to see you, Whispering Portals. Native Americans call them big feet. Well, yeah, that's Sasquatch, not so much Dogman, right? So yeah, I mean, we certainly call them Bigfoot as well. But Brent, the cloaked hedgehog has tons of Dogman sightings. That is what it all is. Hundreds of reports all over the world. Oh. Well, again, BJ, if you got a link, please send it to me. Okay, thank you, Rachel. Rachel says she sent me one. Growled at by what? I don't know, Dakota. The story, I'll go into it since I did mention it, and you may not be familiar with this. One of the earliest paranormal experiences I ever had was I lived in southeastern Minnesota in the River Valley for the Mississippi, and it was on the widest part of the Mississippi, and it's called Lake Pepin. And my house where my family lived was very rural and butted up to a state forest preserve, a state park, which is just a forest preserve that is it's not developed in any way. It's in a natural state. But one of the things that I used to do as a kid was, for recreation was to go up on that hill. I grew up on that hill. That was the closest thing I had to like a playground or a jungle gym. And I really didn't have a lot of friends out there. I was mostly solitary just because we lived out where no other kids really were. The closest kids were like 2 miles away. But my one of our neighbors down there in that area who lived literally just across the street from us, his great nephew would come and visit, and he was my age. And so we got to be friends when he was there. And one summer, he and I went hiking up on the bluff like we always did. I was 14, he was 15. And I'd never heard, seen, or experienced anything out of the usual. This is a very, mundane southeastern Minnesota forest where we see deer, we see raccoons, see fox, heard coyote through the years once in a while, but they were very rare. And so we really didn't have anything around there that would even be cautionary other than we had rattlesnakes. So in the bluff next to my family's house was called Rattlesnake Bluff. That's the actual
Tuba.
It's not a tuba. It's a tuba. But we would hike up there, and that was kind of where we'd go. And so it was a summer day, and he was down visiting, and so we got together and decided to go up on this bluff and goof around. And we do things like rolling boulders and doing things like that. Just whatever you can do in the forest for entertainment, and just talk and BS while we're out there. And we got up on the bluff, and we're like, well, we better get home because when it gets dark, it gets pitch dark. Especially in that forest, there's a real thick canopy, and even if a moon is out, you're not going to see much. So we're like, yeah, we better get down. It's getting late in the day, so we started working our way down. It was still very much daylight. Now, this is also not the... I don't know, must be getting a lap dance. I don't even see it on the radar. So it must be right here.
It's busy tonight.
Yeah, it seems to be. But we were starting to work our way down, and just to give you an idea visually what this forest is like, it's not like the deep, dark, impenetrable forest. It's a very old forest, and if you're in a very old forest, there's mature growth trees, and there's a lot of space between them. Leaf litter all over the ground. Of course, limestone boulders and stuff, and as it's degrading down this hill, and we would hike up and go back down this dry run. It was a dry run of melt-off run from springs for thousands of years that carved this ravine into the bluff, and that was a beautiful climb and stuff. And we're working our way down this, and we got a certain amount of the way down, and we're at this drop-off point where it kind of drops off a few feet down into rocks and boulders and stuff. So we're just kind of taking a breather as we're working our way down, and again, we were up there alone. There was nobody around, and it's not like people would be playing pranks. There's like nobody around in this area. It's very, very rural. And so we're standing there just kind of looking at the way down, just taking a breath, and like, and suddenly right behind us, and I may be misremembering it because of the intensity of the sound, but it sounded like it was right behind us, just suddenly right behind us, but coming from higher up. Like whatever it was bigger than us by a good spell, was this deep and horrifying growl. And I'd never heard a sound like that in my life. It was like an 800-pound Rottweiler or 1,000-pound Rottweiler. It was just a big sound. And the sound was so intense of this growling that it vibrated my body. My body was shaking with this sound, not with nerves like, oh my God, but just like I could feel the sound waves going through me. And
kind of like a tiger's roar.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, but it was even deeper than that. I've certainly heard tigers roaring, and it's hard to say, but it was more bassy than a tiger, and
Okay.
it was just this, and I can't even mimic it to give you any idea what it sounded like, but it was just this intense sound. Now, this is 14-year-old me. I have no concept of what that noise is or where it's coming from. I had heard about Bigfoot. I had heard that Bigfoot was something in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in the southeastern part of Minnesota. That's not where they said it was on In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. I had no concept of what could be making this sound. But whatever it was big, and it was the most afraid that I've ever been, because I was sure that we were both just a moment away from being mauled and torn apart by something. And I just froze, and my friend froze. And it's not that I couldn't have moved, but I just wasn't going to look and see what it looked like, because A, I didn't want to inspire it to attack by doing any movement. I just froze. And B, because if I was going to die, I didn't want to know what that looked like when this thing came at me. I didn't want that to be the last thing I saw, so I was just frozen. And so we're both frozen, and he must have had the same thoughts I did, because we both just stood there with eyes like saucers, frozen, and it's growling and growling and growling. And finally, after standing there, I was like, well, what the hell is that? And he goes, I don't know, but we got to get out of here. And that was the only conversation we had. But, they say, you hear people saying, well, you don't run from them because you might trigger the prey response. Well, I'm 14-year-old me, and I'm feeling like an infant. So I know whatever's making that noise is not in fight mode. Like, it's not in my fight category at all. I'm like lunch meat at this point. So the only thing you have left is to get the hell out of there. And that's what we did. We ran. We ran down this ravine and ran towards home, and worked our way. And how we didn't fall and break our necks going down this rocky ravine, I still don't know. But whatever it was didn't follow. It didn't pursue. So we finally got down on the main road about, 3/4 of a mile away, to the gravel road. It didn't follow, and we didn't stick around still. We hurried and got home. But it changed those forests for me, for my childhood. That was where I went.
Oh,
That was where that was my place to play, and to just, I don't know, detach and just be in nature. But ever since then, that forest became dark. It became like scary. And, I did eventually go back up into the hills after a couple of years or so, but it was horrifying. And I just had that in the back of my head. Like, I didn't know Bigfoot was a possibility. I'd never heard of Dogman. The only thing I'd ever heard of was like werewolves, and I never believed those were real. So I
Sure.
didn't have anything to put it to this noise. And it wasn't until, I'll tell you, the next time that I heard a noise that inspired that same reaction in me, at least the memory, it brought that memory flooding back, was when I went to the first Jurassic Park movie. And it was where those kids are trapped in that car, and that's, stopped on the tracks, and the adults are in the next car, and that
Oh,
T-Rex
yeah.
comes. And when that T-Rex lowers its head down to the car level, and its eye is looking in the window, there's a growling noise that they used. And it just brought it all flooding back. I was like, oh. And I remembered this event that I just, pushed to the back of my mind. And it was like, oh my God, I remember when that happened. What was that? Well, then it was even after that I started learning about Bigfoot. And I realized that this wasn't a Pacific Northwest phenomena. I came to understand that this was a global phenomena. It's everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. So I went back up into those woods doing a product shoot for a company I was working for, doing advertising. And I just started to look around and see the woods with this new knowledge about Bigfoot, things that people attribute to Bigfoot. And I was like, oh my God. And that kind of solved it for me. I didn't see it. I can't say it was a Bigfoot, but I saw broken trees. I saw structures up in those woods, and I never did see any prints or anything, but it's full leaf litter with, loose soil and rocks and stuff. So it's not really the kind of strata that would leave a good print anyway. But that's what I figured, is that I had a close encounter with a Bigfoot. So I don't know. That's my story, just so you know.
What time of year was that again?
That was in summertime. So it was
Summertime.
It was probably later summer, like in August, because I think that we were getting towards heading back to school. It was like getting to that part of the summer, but I can't be sure. I just know it was in the summer because, it's just t-shirts and jeans and, our athletic shoes, and that was it. So.
Okay, well, there goes that theory.
What was that?
I was thinking maybe you got too close to like a little baby or something.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad theory, because I think that they're extraordinarily protective, and there might have been a family group there, and they had maybe more of a toddler-sized one or something, and they were just being extraordinarily protective. I don't know. I mean, it's speculation, but yeah, that's my Bigfoot story. The infrasound is real. Yeah. So there you go. I'm just to bring anybody up to speed that's not familiar with all of my stories. I have several of them, and that's the one close encounter I think I had with a cryptid, but I didn't see it, but it's the only thing that makes sense. All right, let's get to the news. What do you think, Chucky? Because it's already
40 minutes.
Yeah, we went the long way into the news. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. Grandizer's comment there. Brant, hold us now. We're 6 feet from the edge, and we're thinking maybe 6 feet ain't that far down. Comment from yesterday you missed. Okay, thanks. And Rachel, yeah, those woods are full of deer and full of small game, rabbits, all that stuff, and lots of wild things that I'm sure they probably eat, because I think Bigfoot are probably omnivores, so there's a lot of it.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of stuff there. Hey, David Barnes, good to see you. Glad to have you here, brother. And this is the news, ladies and gentlemen. So buckle up, because we're going to get into some headlines to see what the hell happened in the world since the last time we got together, which was last Saturday. And I'm sure there's a bunch, but I pulled up a few things, and we'll get into that. But before I go any further, just please remember, throughout the course of the show, I utilize a lot of different sites, a lot of different articles from incredible websites on the internet. And I want to encourage you guys to support these sites. Please visit them. Please give them your love, because these sites are doing an amazing job, and they need your traffic. Your traffic equals revenue. If anybody's ever hosted a pretty popular site, it's an expensive endeavor. It's not just a little Facebook page or something. It is, you oftentimes have to pay for the bandwidth of the traffic you have. So as you visit these sites, that is generating revenue and helping to keep the lights on for them. So please do that. So that's my caveat in the beginning of all these shows. I guess I can close this. I got the YouTube chat open on my screen. Let me close that so I can clear the way for the articles. Man, I just feel all discombobulated today, Chucky. It's that damn
clear the way.
It's the damn tech stuff. It just really takes me out of my rhythm completely.
We're not even in retrograde right now, man.
I know. I don't even have Mercury retrograde to blame. Every time everything goes sideways, it's always, damn Mercury. But it's not in retrograde. Is that what you're telling me, Chucky?
I don't think so.
That figures. That's something else is in retrograde.
You can drink your Gatorade freely.
All right, well, we're going to get some news articles here, ladies and gentlemen. The first site we're going to be visiting is an amazing site that I've found for the news. It never disappoints me. This site is so incredibly well done. I'm speaking of unexplained-mysteries.com, and the site has to do with modern mysteries. And I don't know if this is more of a true crime kind of story or not, but we'll get into it. As long as it's not too big. No, it's pretty small, actually. But here we go from Modern Mysteries Files of Unexplained-Mysteries.com. Mystery as 3 people found shot in the California desert.
Oh, dear.
Right. But, I mean, is that unusual? I don't know how that works because I just keep thinking of like old mafia movies and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what they do, right?
Kind of, yeah.
I mean,
Usually they're buried in a barrel or something.
Right. Yeah, there's that, of course. You find that kind of stuff when Las Vegas lakes dry up. That's when that shows up. But let's see what this says. I don't know what the story is or what the background of this is, but we'll find out together. The victims, who were found in 2 separate vehicles, had been pew-pewed to death by people unknown. Authorities are currently investigating a murder mystery. 2 men and a woman, all pew-pewed to death. I don't even know if I should be saying it that way. All unalived in 2 cars in the remote California desert last weekend. I sound like an idiot saying pew-pew. It's like, come on. What am I, 3? All right.
I just keep thinking of Pepe Le Pew.
All right. Officers had initially received a call out on Sunday and discovered a 65-year-old woman was unalived down inside of her vehicle, as well as 2 men who had been unalived in their SUV. Wow. So it was 2 different vehicles. Both vehicles had been traveling westbound behind one another on Avenue Q, whatever the hell that means. An investigation into the scene indicated that the suspect had approached in another vehicle from the west and had then fired multiple rounds into the cars before fleeing the scene. Oh, what a dick. As things... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That sounds gang related or something.
Yeah, I mean, it could be random, right? It could just be some initiation thing for some of that garbage.
I guess they didn't have their Q clearance.
Yeah. As things stand, the police have been unable to determine who is responsible or even why the victims had been targeted. We're asking for the public's help if anyone knows what occurred out here, said LASD Lieutenant Steve DeJong. Investigations remain ongoing. Well, that's horrifying. It's not usually the kind of news we cover, but God, I hope they find out who did it and just put them in a box for a long rest of the time. That's just terrifying. Could you just imagine? I mean, you're just getting somewhere and then somebody just decides, hey, you're it. In
the middle of a desert.
In the middle of a desert. Yeah, what are you going to do? It's like, and I suppose that's part of the reasoning, but, I guess that's just horrifying. The world, it can be much darker than any of this paranormal stuff. That's creepy as hell.
Well, like I always say, they're the real monsters.
Yeah, you're right. All right, let's get to the next one from the world of the bizarre from unexplained-mysteries.com. Man who had been unable to sleep for 2 years is desperate for answers. Oh my God, 2 years, Chucky, no sleep.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. I thought you would definitely go insane.
I thought they did
the Russian experiments
on that in like World War II or something like that, and they died after 6 days?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I mean, I imagine he's probably getting some kind of sleep, just not maybe a really restful sleep. Let's see what it says.
3 hours.
Yeah. A 32-year-old man from the UK suddenly found that he couldn't get to sleep, and he's been awake ever since. In one of the most extreme cases of insomnia ever recorded, Oliver Alvis had been in good health until one night, 2 years ago, he found that he was unable to get off to sleep. Well, far from being an isolated incident, it turned out that he wasn't able to sleep at all, no matter what, not even after taking strong sedatives. And he's since been on a journey to find some sort of solution to his problem. I don't just have a lack of sleep, it's a total disappearance of sleep, he told the Mail Online. I don't feel sleepy, I don't fall asleep, I'm in a permanent state of alertness. Endless days turn into endless nights, and it's torment. The lack of sleep not only causes exhaustion, but it crumbles the spirit. I've lost almost everything the person I once was is gone, and how can it be that something so natural, so essential as sleep is completely taken from me? Due to the lack of sleep, the 32-year-old now suffers from extreme muscle pains, an endless sense of pressure in his head, impaired vision, and an inability to even walk in a straight line. He has described it as being like wearing an iron suit 24 hours a day. Despite consulting numerous doctors, he has yet to find a solution. I wander around at night envious of the homeless who can sleep on the porches of shops, he said. I'd rather trade places with them just to fall asleep, something I would trade all my possessions for. Wow.
That's crazy.
I was thinking, well, maybe you can get a lot of stuff done, but it doesn't sound like it's worked out that way for him at all.
No, I mean, like, how would you even recover your body properly?
Well, I think
I guess that's why it feels like he's wearing an iron suit.
Yeah, and it's why he's got muscle pains. Is he's never getting that regenerative sleep that we all need to keep our bodies going. So
I mean, you'd almost have to take up meditation to get any kind of rest.
Yeah, if that would even work, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like something neurological, though, right? But I'm sure he's been tested.
Very much like a hormone imbalance or something
right.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've thought about that. It's like, how much time do we waste with sleeping? And I'm sure it's a ton. But I'll tell you, I love sleeping. When I do sleep, I love getting there, and I don't know. I just really enjoy sleeping. But man, if you didn't sleep at all, how would you stay sane? I mean, how is he sane? Because that's what I was thinking of, Chucky. There was like I don't know if it was a creepypasta, if there was any truth to this story at all, but apparently there was this Russian experiment where they did sleep deprivation. And
Yes.
and I guess what basically happened was the according to this tale that I heard, and I don't expect that it's probably real, but the people would started peeling off their lips, and they were lidless, like their eyes wouldn't blink, and they were kept in absolute darkness and absolute insanity. Like they were almost like extraordinarily possessed by something else. And I don't know if there's any merit to that at all, but I would imagine your psyche would collapse if you didn't sleep, right?
Pretty quickly.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know. That poor guy. You'd think there would be some kind of drugs. Just, get this man a whole bunch of things and IV him and let him drift off for a while. Poor guy.
Yeah.
God, that's horrifying.
But they said they even tried heavy sedatives and it didn't do anything.
Right, but I wonder what that means. Like, NyQuil or what? What is a heavy sedative? I don't know. Sounds like he's
coma.
He's he probably just got a good case of diarrhea out of it, but yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. That's a strange story, but you're just like you. I didn't think that was possible. I thought that your body would just collapse, or at least your ability to even function would collapse. But I mean, his, but I would expect a lot more than just that.
Well, like you said, in those Russian experiments, they hit peak insanity within days.
Yeah. Do you know the stories I'm talking about? Had you ever read those? Or
I'm somewhat familiar with
right.
them.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's any merit to it. It was supposedly some Soviet Union kind of Russian experiments, which yeah, I wouldn't doubt either, or something out of Nazi Germany or something. But some horrible things were done in the name of their discovery, which is just nightmarish. But yeah, and that story was really creepy. I was like, oh, jeez, and no, it was like there's no going back. There was no redemption for those people that were in that experiment. They didn't volunteer for it, and they didn't ever come back from it. So if that was true, that's a nightmare. But that's okay. We got more. Hopefully something a little more happy than that. That was kind of depressing.
Poor guy.
I know. I just feel for him. It's like, man, I wish that guy could sleep.
He should try a sensory deprivation tank. Maybe to reset his system.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, God, you'd think. Here we go. We're going to go to Australia for this one. So there's something weird been happening in Australia. I don't know which of our Australian family are here with us right now. Is Maggie in here? Have you seen her?
I haven't seen Maggie, no.
Okay, well, if any of our Australia, if Aussie's here or anyone else, here you go. This one goes out to you because I know we do have some Aussie listeners. And here we go. This is an article for you from unexplained-mysteries.com. Mysterious balls have washed up on the Australian coast again. Those damn balls. It's the balls, Chucky. Mysterious
Don't put
balls.
it in your mouth.
Definitely not. Definitely not for consumption. Let's see what it says. The peculiar spheres which have appeared in New South Wales echo those found washed up last year. So
Strange.
I don't remember reporting on any other balls that have been washing up on Australian shores before, but apparently it's not a new phenomena. So let's see what it says. Australia has once again been gripped with a mystery concerning anomalous balls washing up on its beaches. I know I had to say it with a long A. Balls. And nobody's quite sure why or what they are or where they've come from. They were first spotted by a member of the public on North Shelley Dog Beach last week. Council confirmed the presence of debris balls and advised that all visible balls were cleared from the beach by mid-afternoon, said a council spokesman. Debris balls washed ashore could be from a variety of sources or locations such as stormwater, sewage networks, yeah, really, or ships from local or international locations. Further inspections and safe cleanup are underway. In the meantime, the general public has been advised not to touch or go near the balls. I think that's words we can all live by, ladies and gentlemen.
If it happened last year, that surely they have an idea of what these things are.
I mean, did anybody just decide to let's cut it and see what's in the balls? That should tell us something, right?
Oh, please. No. That just made me cringe.
Chucky just got a stomach ache. The incident echoes the discovery of thousands of small spheres along Australia's New South Wales coastline, both in 2024 and yet again earlier this year, when multiple beaches had to be closed. It was later determined that the balls in the latter case were from a sewage spill. Oh,
Ew.
oh no.
So like beach dookie that's rolled up on the sand.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, because if the balls are washing up there, then other stuff's washing up there too. And I'm somebody that grew up swimming in the Mississippi River, ladies and gentlemen. I could tell you nightmares of things that floated by me as I was bobbing in the water. It was some pretty disgusting stuff. I didn't.
It's not a Hershey bar.
No, the funny one is that every once in a while, condoms would come by. And
gross.
And I would be like, Grandma, what's that? And she said, don't touch it. That's fish sacks.
Fish sacks.
She called them fish sacks and told us to get the hell away from them. I'm a little kid. I'm like, what's that white,
So innocent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an idiot. I'm just like, oh, I'm swimming. No, get away. That's a fish sack. Leave it alone. I was like, oh, okay. This is my childhood. Yeah, I mean, there might be an explanation for why I turned out the way I did, ladies and gentlemen. I was bobbing in the sewage runoff of the Mississippi all my childhood. Oh God!
Lucky you don't have like a arm growing out of your forehead.
No, I had that removed long ago, Chucky. All right, there you go. I think you probably never heard of that before, folks. I was today old when I heard about it, so I'm with you. I just, I don't think we needed the graphic of the guy holding the ball. But
well, at least he's gloved up.
Yeah, he's gloved up. I mean, he's, probably proper protocol. But if you found out that was from a sewage spill, would you ever go swimming there again? Would you ever walk on that beach again?
Never.
I'd be like, nope. I'm done. I'm done with the outside. I'm staying inside now. So
I'm not going to make sandcastles in a human kitty litter box.
Yeah, God, no. You gave me that. I got to think about that now, Chucky. Thank you for that. You dick. I got like sandcastles made of like sewage balls in my head. I didn't need that. I would have went the rest of the night just fine without that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I tell you, sorry you have to go. All right, that's it for the news. That's about all I can handle. That was just about as much fun as you can have by law, I think. So let's get back to the rest of the show and find out what else we've got to uncover. Can't wait. Here we go.
Stock 99 when people thought they were sliding around in the mud and the mud wasn't really mud.
Oh no, I didn't know that either, Chucky. Man,
You didn't know that? That's like famous.
no, I lead a sheltered life, Chucky. There's a reason. One of them is so that Mike Prine says surf turds in the chat from Facebook.
Yeah, the problem with Woodstock 99 was they didn't have enough resources for how many people were there, and the outhouses overflowed.
Oh no, oh no, and
Yeah.
people are like body surfing that.
Oh, they certainly were.
Oh no,
And they had no idea.
Oh God, no, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
So many people got staph infections.
They're lucky that's all they got. My God, oh, that's horrifying. Oh man, all right, well there you go, folks.
Fun fact for the day.
There's nothing fun about that fact, Chucky. That just disturbs me on so many levels. I didn't need to know that. Oh, well, there you have it, folks. You just never know what you're going to get in every episode of The Portal. You're welcome. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Well, I think we're going to move to an article we've been going through, and then we're going to get into what the hell is that, and then we're going to hit the cryptid corner. And that'll be about the show, folks. That'll be about a full wrap right there. So, but I do want to get to this thought catalog article, and this is written by January Nelson. It's from 2019. It's a few years old. I think it was last updated in 2024, but yeah, it's a good article. And again, this is 33 paranormal stories even skeptics are going to freak out over. And it's been a fantastic article. I've really enjoyed it for what it is. Again, these are Reddit scrape articles. This is one thing that Thought Catalog used to do a bunch of, and I love these articles. I really do, and I wish they would continue this protocol because they were some great takes. There's no way to verify that what we're reading is true, but I think a good portion of them probably have truth to them, and maybe there's some embellishment. But anytime you're taking comments from an online message thread, you're going to get a whole cornucopia of things, but it is represented as true. And that's always a criteria for me sharing things on the show. I can't verify any of the stuff that we cover is true other than my own stories. But I will tell you that I will never knowingly air just crap. I will never knowingly bring you scammy, hoaxy stuff and tell you that it's real. Everything I provide is at least alleged to be truth. And I still encourage you guys, make up your own minds. Oh, thank you, Sharon Sunshine. Got a donation. Thank you so much, Sharon. I really appreciate that.
Appreciated.
Absolutely. So we're going to get to this. We're on number 14 of this list of 33, so we got a lot to go through. This should be pretty good, though. Let's see where we get with this one, Chucky. Number 14, long story short, we knew we had a ghost kid at the house after a few drinks. I decided to taunt him by laying a beer bottle on its side and saying, "Timmy, if you're really here, spin the bottle." A few seconds go by and nothing happens. And then every door in the house slammed open. The front door had a deadbolt on. Yeah, you don't mess with Timmy. And I'm betting that's not Timmy.
Probably not Timmy.
That's not Timmy if he just suddenly made every door in your house open up. This isn't a little kid spirit. This is something a lot more potent.
Just thought here, but maybe that would be like an ancestor saying like, hey, don't mess with things you don't understand.
Maybe.
Scared straight.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, I mean, I hope it just, if this is a true story, I hope they learn from that, because you don't mess with Timmy. Just leave Timmy alone, or get him the hell out. You know, to bring in somebody that can get him the hell out. But yeah, exactly. Just like South Park. All right, number 15. What's that?
Said exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I used to love that show. I haven't watched it for a long time, but I used to. I have the first 8 seasons on DVD out in my garage. It was so classic.
Perfect.
So classic.
It is.
All right, number 15. Haunted house growing up. Things would fly off of shelves. Heavy objects would move with no explanation. Electronics would turn on and off in really creepy ways. Lights, radios, etc. My sister and I also both remember seeing this shadow thing standing in the hallways on multiple occasions. And we were little, so I generally just write off that stuff as kids with too much imagination, but the rest of that stuff, scary. And not generally in the realm of normal, at least to me. Yeah, I don't think any of that's normal. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if your lights are turning on and off, radios, electronics, and in fact, I think those are probably some of the most common types of spiritual interactions that people get, is because, and I have a theory. I can't say it's because, but I think that by virtue of these presences being energetic and not, hauling around a meat suit like we are, so they are just existing in the purely energetic form, that interacting with other energetic things might be very easy and not at all hard. So, but we have these huge meat insulators on that make interacting on that level with things outside of us very difficult. But maybe it's very easy when you're just a spirit. What do you think, Chucky?
Well, I mean, it also says my sister and I, and we're not really given an age in this story, so possibly, like, you've heard the theory that when girls hit puberty, they have poltergeist activity a lot easier.
Sure.
And a lot of the stuff is electronic, so maybe it's like a bioelectric
Very
type
true.
thing.
Very true. Could be some form of PK expression from the young lady. Well, I mean, the poltergeist phenomena is really not exclusive to young females. It's just most of the reported cases are there, but there's also
right.
plenty that happens even to adults that are believed to be manifesting a poltergeist type of expression. So
Yes, it just seems to be stronger in those stories.
Yeah, and it is more. It seems to be more prevalent, more common at least, but that's based on a very narrow band of reporting that I'm aware of. I don't pretend to be extraordinarily well researched on that, but yeah, very interesting stuff. I think it's fascinating. I would love to dig through like Hans Holzer's files and so many other research teams through the years and just see what they found. But let's get to the next one, number 16. I was pushed down a flight of stairs by an unseen force that felt like hands. It was this creepy old house being rented to university students, and my girlfriend had the upper attic floor, with the set of stairs that led down to the second floor, real stairs, not the fold-out kind. And there was a lot of weird paranormal stuff that happened in this house. But this one event really stood out. Yeah, I mean, when you get pushed, yeah, that stands out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My girlfriend's friend had just come over, wasted drunk, and passed out on her bed. It was irritating because we were a little frisky and wanted to hook up. But after an hour of trying to get her to wake up to send her home, we gave up and just decided the couch would be better. Plus, she was out cold, so we didn't think she'd know. Oh, they were going at it anyway, Chucky. There was no stopping it. Love was in the air. So my girlfriend sits down on the couch, and I decide I really should brush my teeth. So I tell her I'll be right back and head for the stairs. Well, I look at her while I'm going down the stairs and wink. At that moment, I feel hands hit my back, and I literally fall forward and start rolling down the stairs. 2 cracked ribs, and I had to be taken out on a stretcher because I could barely breathe and it hurt like hell to stand up. My girlfriend never wanted to believe what I felt and insisted I must have just slipped, but I know I felt strong hands hit my back. It took her the longest to start believing that place was haunted. But damn, there was some paranormal stuff. And as far as her roommates and I were concerned, by the time everyone was done living in that house, that event was worst that happened because it got physical. Okay, sorry. I got stumbled on the last sentence there. Yeah, I mean, that is crossing a real boundary. When something interacts with you on a very physical level, that's when it feels like it's getting dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of like my ghost encounter. That it it started getting too physical and not cool.
Could you share that just for any of that are here that are not aware of your encounter?
Yeah, yeah. So I had a ghost that haunted me for like an entire summer. And the very first time I saw it, I was up in bed reading Lord of the Rings, listening to Ramstein because it's like the perfect soundtrack
Yeah.
because it's not English, you're not concentrating on lyrics. You can just read and
Mm-hmm.
immerse yourself. And through my bedroom door comes this woman in white with blonde hair, Victoria era dress, like the frilly doilies on the cuffs and
Mm-hmm.
around the collar. And she's floating above the floor, so the dress is dragging underneath her feet.
Ooh.
And not looking at me, but she goes straight through the room and then out the wall beside me.
Wow.
And that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the course of the summer, it would ramp up and get more and more terrifying as I went. And uh, it was always between midnight and 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it would stand on the end of my bed.
Really? Like,
So
could
you
you
could
feel
feel the feet depressing the mattress beside you.
like it had weight, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
You could feel it sit on the end of the bed. There was one time where I hid under the covers and you could feel the feet on either side of your ankles. So it was like you're trapped there. It wasn't sleep paralysis, but you felt trapped.
It was straddling. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And uh, one of the last times that I saw it, it walked over to the side of my bed. I hid under the covers, and you feel two fists depress in the mattress right beside my head.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
And you just feel the staring through the blanket like it was burning a hole through the mattress.
No. How old
Just,
are you at this time?
I was 14 or
14?
15. It was the summer of grade 9 going into grade 10.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a lot to absorb. How did you handle that as a kid?
I wasn't handling it very well.
Yeah.
It was very scary. I mean, I had friends that I would talk to about it, and two of them experienced this ghost on sleepovers.
Oh.
Um, but eventually, I just asked my mom, and she was very religious, and like, "What do I do with this thing?" And she's like, "You need to rebuke this in the name of Jesus.
Oh. Okay.
And I'll pray for you, but none of us in the house are seeing this, so
Oh.
this is what you need to do." And the very last time I seen it was the most terrifying. Um, it walked into my room like the first time, and I told it, I'm like, you can't be here. This is my space. You're not allowed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of went out the wall and disappeared. And I just stared at the wall where it just left for like a minute. And then there's this little square window, and right below it, this back of the head kind of pokes through the wall.
Jesus.
And it's the
Oh.
back of the head facing me, and it's gone from being a blonde woman to dark haired, and it looks very wet, and it's like draped down.
Oh.
And slowly this head starts turning like an owl.
Oh no.
And when I saw the face, you see this Cheshire cat like smile with long needle teeth
Oh God.
and red laser dot eyes, and the rest of the face was just void, abyss, nothing.
That's horrifying.
It was absolutely terrifying.
Wow. Did you sleep in that room after that, or did you
I
start
mean, you
sleeping on a couch, or what did you do?
kind of had to.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but in that moment is when I took my mom's advice. And I'm like, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you.
Oh, good.
And, and the head just pulled out of the wall the same way it went in. And I never saw it again.
Oh, thank God. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrifying, dude. Wow. I don't,
Yeah.
did you ever
That
tell
was
me
the
that?
worst. I believe I did. I think we did a podcast episode about it.
Okay, it's just been a while.
It has been a
I'm
while.
sorry I don't remember that specifically, but that just seems that seems horrifying. I mean, especially as a young man, and then and then to be like, well, what you need to do is this. Good luck. I'll pray for you.
You're right.
How about a priest? How about a priest, Ma?
Can
Let's let's
you
get
bring the preacher in, please?
yeah, let's work at a different angle here because that's a lot for a kid to handle all by yourself.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like the odd thing is like this house was like fairly new.
hmm
There was only like one previous owner, so like we knew that no one had a tragedy in the house or on the
hmm
property as far as we know.
sure,
Um, we logged off a bunch of the trees just so we could have a yard. Um, so it's all like fresh land as far as we know,
right.
except there's the old horse and buggy road that went up and over the mountain from town to town that ran right beside my bedroom.
Oh, sure. And honestly, I don't I think that a lot of people believe that, and I'm not suggesting this is your situation, but I think a lot of people believe, well, for there to be a haunting, there's got to have something have happened. There's got to be
Not
some kind of sad
necessarily.
history or something. And no, not at all. There's plenty of new houses that get haunted, and I think that there are some spirits that are transitory. I think that oftentimes spirits are maybe actively or consciously anchored to a place like that meant something to
Hmm.
them or something, and so they stay there. But in some cases, I think that there's transitory spirits that just kind of
Oh,
wander,
definitely.
and they
Well, I don't think
find
that
you.
this thing was ever human. I just think it displayed
Right,
itself as human.
right, and that's why I said transitory spirits, not.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole catalog of things that exist that we categorize as ghosts and spirits. But I think that there's just a huge array of things that we experience in that manner, but we're never human,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
certainly,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, everybody knows about the demonic and all that, but I think there's other things like elementals and sylphs, dryads, any number of things from our folklores that we've kind of lost an idea of, but they still are in our world, and maybe we experience them like this. Like, perhaps it was a nature spirit that was pissed for all the logging of those trees, that forest. I mean, who knows,
Maybe.
right? I mean, there's any number of ideas, but you don't have to have a long, sordid history on a place for you to experience a haunting. You may go
No.
someplace and something sees you and decides it wants to hang out with you, and it'll follow you. It's just like an attachment. So,
Well,
any,
again, like I've said in our ultraviolet Bigfoot episode,
mm-hmm,
every living thing on this planet emits ultraviolet light.
sure,
And so, us as humans, we're emitting light constantly. So, maybe we're like a beacon, and a transitory spirit comes by and sees
sure,
your light and is attracted to it.
absolutely. And I think that in a lot of ways, not only because of the light we're emitting, but because of the energy we emit. I think some people just resonate and have a higher frequency, and I think that that's attractive to some of these other vibrational entities or frequency entities that are out there, and they just might like your vibe and decide that they want to, try to corrupt that or whatever, or take it over. Any number of ideas. I mean, there's walk-ins, there's shadow people, there's certainly ghosts and spirits, but of formerly living people, but there's any number of other things that we experience in that same manner, but we just kind of throw them all together in ghosts or spirits. So
Yeah.
but when you saw that grin, that's like, oh yeah, that's not normal.
No,
You know,
definitely not. It kind of peeled back the curtain a little bit there.
In a bad way. Yeah, that's a
In a
scar.
very bad way.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad that you shared that though, because I think there's a lot of new people that may not have heard any of those episodes, and are just meeting us for the first time. So
Oh,
it
sure.
gives it context, and that's a fascinating and yet horrifying experience. So if any of you guys are new and you're just joining us, if you've got experiences, we'd love to hear them too. So please reach out to me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. And yeah, you too could be interviewed either, on the podcast or wherever, and share your story, or just write it to me in email and I'll narrate it, and be happy to share your experiences. But thanks, brother. I appreciate you going into that.
No, absolutely. No problem.
All right. Well, let's continue on this article. We're doing good. We still got I'm going to do a couple more of these. How long is this one? Yeah, I'll do like 2 more of them. All right. We're going to do number 17 of this article. And this is, I work alone overnight cleaning a restaurant. And there have been quite a few scares, but I'd say the most paranormal was when I heard a pleading at the back door one night. That'd be a tough one, wouldn't it, Chucky? Like someone, oh, please let me in, please let me in.
That also sounds very Black-Eyed Kids.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was short and to the point. A woman's voice said my name, and a man's voice said, let us in. Oh, so it's 2 of them.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope,
no. I went to look out the window that was attached to the door, and no one was there. As I turned to go back to work, it sounded like something slammed into the door, and it knocked my tail to the floor, and I scrambled up, running to safety. I had the managers look at the recording that morning, and when they came in, and they said they saw nothing. And this is the only example of a lot of weird stuff that goes on there. This is only one example, so apparently there's a lot more they could share, but didn't in this excerpt anyway. That's weird. But yeah, again, if it's a man and a woman, no, if it's a woman alone, okay, maybe you take the risk and try to help. But if it's a man and a woman, it's like, no, you're not alone. You're okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you hear those stories of like women yelling for help out in the forest and whatnot.
Oh man.
Never go find it.
No. I agree, and that would be a heartbreaker. That'd be a tough one
Oh,
to not
sure.
do as well, because if you hear someone screaming for help, I mean, every fiber in my being is going to be like, I got to do what I can. I can't just let this person go through this. But it's not a person.
Oh, there was this really creepy audio that was on Instagram
Okay.
where this guy was out in the forest and he was recording, and he heard this little girl's voice screaming for her daddy,
Oh no.
except the English was off enough that it just sounded weird. Like she was yelling for daddy, daddy help me, daddy come help me, and it just sounded so wrong.
Oh,
It was the creepiest thing.
that is horrifying.
Oh yeah.
How diabolical is that, though, right? I mean,
That sounds very like Pale Crawler.
yeah, it really does. And I was talking to Crystal last night when we did Texas show. She asked me, what's the cryptid that bothers you the most, that affects you the most? And obviously, it'd be easy to say Bigfoot or Dogman, because sure, those would be incredibly intimidating experiences. But there's something about those pale crawlers that just hits me on a whole different level. Like, I can't even think of being close to one of them. Like, I just want to be away from whatever that is. And I don't even understand it myself. It hits me on a total different level, is the best way I can put it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, there's 2 videos of what are probably good captures of Pale Crawler.
Yeah.
There's the one of the guy on the motorcycle that's going down the trails in the evening. He hits that one little clearing and his bike stalls out, and he's trying to get it going, and then he senses something weird. And as he's looking around with his GoPro on his helmet, he sees down a little grown over trail this pale crawler come out and start crawling towards him really fast.
Oh God.
and then he manages to get his bike going, and he just rips it out of there.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, it seemed like it was such a close call.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, if I can find it, I'll send it in for what the hell is that?
Yeah, please
But
do.
there's another one that was like from, I don't know, 2, 3 years ago, of the pale crawler out in Utah, where these boys were filming from the top of a hill,
Uh-huh.
and they see a bunch of deer running in the pasture down below them. And so they're looking at that, and then all of a sudden, this weird, creepy white thing starts running down the pasture after the deer. It's got really elongated arms,
Isn't that like
and
giant though? That thing's like the size of a tree though, isn't it?
it's pretty decently big, but it's white and
Yeah.
it's really gangly.
Yes. Yes. That one really bothers me too. I
Yeah,
think that's a hell of a capture. I am familiar with that one. I think I've shown that on Trail Cam Terrors way back in the day, but yeah, if you
yeah.
find that one, send it to me too, because that'd be a great one to go over. But I got to tell you, from that one, I was actually thinking, well, then maybe that is a good example of giants still being around, because when you look at the size of the trees in this thing, and it's
Oh, it's big.
huge, it's enormous. I mean, this thing's got to be like in the 15-foot range, is what I was
Wasn't
thinking.
there a jeep or a quad in the background as well for perspective?
I think there was like horses or wolves in the field past that even. Like there was two dark things, and I didn't know if there were horses or wolves, but then that the deer that you're talking about were close, and you can see this thing is clearly keeping an eye on those deer, and it's
Oh yeah.
shadowing them from the tree line, but it's like a tree break in these various fields, and it's tucked behind the one, but these boys are up on a rise behind that recording it, and that's just, God, it's just freaky. Maybe we'll have to see if we can find that. I got a couple of good videos for tonight's what the hell is that, but yeah, we can look at that.
Yeah, I'll dig that up.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be really cool. Maybe not for tonight's, but for one of them. If you find them, just please send me the links. We're going to do one
Yeah,
more of these,
absolutely.
and then we're going to move on to what the hell is that? Because now I'm itching to go. Now I'm raring to go. All right. Number 18, street lights turn off when I walk under them. You ever experience that, Chucky?
I think I have once or twice.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It is weird. It's happened to me a few times, and I was like, ooh, am I powerful? Ooh, look what I'm
Magneto.
doing. I mean, it just feels like it's this moment where there's like a weird electrochemical interaction between you and these lights or something, and I think it's probably more common than we realize, but because everybody I've talked to, or many people I've talked to, have like, yeah, that happens when I'm walking under lights too a lot of times. So you got to wonder, is that something that's, excuse me, going on with us in a vibration frequency kind of way, that we're interrupting that sensor or what? But
I've also
anyway,
heard it happen with people that's got alien implants.
oh, well, maybe that explains it for me. I've got enough man-made implants. Might as well be some alien stuff in there too. I'm like Radio Shack in here, Chucky. All right. It says it happened once or twice. It happens all the time. I don't mean it happens once or twice. It happens all the time at all hours, as long as the lights are on. And anywhere I might be walking, if I walk right under one, they turn off. It used to scare me when I was a kid, but now I barely notice. This is the only paranormal thing that's ever happened to me, I think. Then again, I'd probably get killed in a horror movie because I'd refuse to believe in the paranormal. Isn't that funny?
I'd go get an X-ray.
Yeah, no kidding. That's kind of interesting. I'd never heard about the alien implant idea, but that actually makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, there was a woman who had an implant in her hand, I think.
Okay.
And anytime they would go to dig it out, it would move. Like
It would move?
Yeah, it would travel up her arm and stuff.
Oh, good
But
God.
anytime she went shopping, it would set off like the shoplifting alarm.
That'd get a
Even
little
if she
old.
didn't buy anything, it would set off the alarm.
Sorry, Marge, it's time for your cavity search.
Oh boy.
Sorry. Energy, Brent says Shelley Montgomery. Yeah. Yep. Interesting stuff. But yeah, there's obviously a lot of great stuff. This article will continue on the next shows as well. We're only on number 19 and we got 33 to go, so there's quite a bit more to cover. And we'll hit that on the subsequent shows, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the kind of fun you can expect on every episode of the Portal if I have my shit together, which tonight I didn't. Sorry. I'm a little jaded about tonight still. It didn't start out the way I wanted it to. But that's all right.
Sure.
I should be used to it because, my God, for all the times things have gone sideways doing this show, you'd think I'd be normal. It'd be normal and I'd be used to it. But nope, that's not the case. So we're going to go to another segment that we know and love here on the shows. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one that I've really enjoyed doing, and we've been able to cover some pretty cool stuff, and that is...
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? So this segment is meant to highlight paranormal evidence, paranormal pictures, paranormal stuff. Sometimes it's terrible, hoaxy stuff, and I like to use the platform to discuss why I don't think it's real and just encourage a lot of critical thinking, because I think there's a vacuum for that in a lot of communities online of critical thinking. They don't apply much of it, and they just are happy to agree with anything anybody says or shows them. And I think, I've got a confirmation bias like anybody else, but I think if we really want to move the needle forward, we've got to apply a lot of scrutiny to this evidences that are being presented. And if it doesn't pass even a most rudimentary review, then, we got to move on. We can't keep trying to regurgitate some of this old stuff. You've seen that, right, Chucky, where there's something extraordinarily hoaxy comes out, makes all the rounds, people post it, and then all the other people are going, no, that's fake, it was debunked, blah, 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 and then it dies. But then the next year it'll come back again. Like a damn boomerang from hell, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so... I mean,
hopefully that hamburger and barbershop clipping Bigfoot doesn't do that.
Yeah, that one can just die and be done. Yeah, the lunch meat Bigfoot was pretty disgusting. Yeah, but there's one every. P.T. Barnum said there's one born every minute. A sucker is born every minute, and that's not me making fun of anyone. Well, kind of, but the point is that I think there's a lot of people that are willing to sign on to anything and just agree with anything. And I'm talking a lot about things that are like the blob squatch stuff, or pictures of leaves and pareidolia, and there's 15 red circles showing you all the faces of Bigfoot watching you. It's like, come on, that's probably somebody's hedge next to their garage. There's not 15 Bigfoot in there. But anyway, I just think it's good to apply some critical thinking, if we could. So that's what we're going to do. And not like I'm the arbiter of truth here. I don't know for sure. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I might be right, I might be wrong, but I'm definitely going to tell you what I think. So I got a few of them. This is the first one, and it's coming from a Facebook page of Michael Alonzo, and it's kind of a looped video. And I don't know, it's supposed to be a prehistoric sized lizard caught on camera stuns witnesses.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it before this guy. I hope I don't hear anything more about it after. But here you go. Here's the first video. I'm just leaving it loop because it doesn't really have a beginning or an end. Again, this is Michael Alonzo. I don't know what he posts. He might post some great stuff. It might all be flaky stuff like this. I don't know, but you be the judge. Here it is for your review. There it is. What are you thinking, Chucky?
I'm thinking AI immediately.
Me too.
It also looks like a really bad Jim Henson puppet.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's...
I'm thinking Dark Crystal era.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was an adaptation from like a bear video of a bear kind of lumbering or something, and then it was just edited to give it that elongated back end, because it does kind of look furry. It kind of has hallmarks of a bear in the, maybe not the snout so much, but the head shape to the shoulder shape looks like it could be a part of a bear and then edited. But you're right, it's probably most likely AI.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these videos kind of making their rounds where they try to bring up cryptid videos and like, oh, new recovered evidence that hasn't seen the light of day before. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of that with lake monsters right now.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Oh yeah, like it's bad. um, but yeah, this one popped up, and I think it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I do too. I think you're right. And you remember that whole rash of Bigfoot pictures that were like, 15-foot Bigfoot standing next to a bearded guy in the mountains of Kentucky or whatever. And the storyline was, these were found in a jar that was buried in my friend's backyard. It's like, yeah, sure they were. And it was, Bigfoot with like 18 toes and, 3 foreheads or what. I don't know. Just they were pretty new when the AI was coming out, but it would take a couple glances like, whoa, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Because there were some hallmarks of early AI with like miscounted toes or 3 hands when there should only be 2 or, things like that were readily apparent on those, but they were being peddled as if there were brand new evidence that surfaced from very old pictures. And
well, if you watch this thing, the front leg does that kind of skip where the AI can't just get it right.
Oh, let's see.
It doesn't. It's not a smooth motion when it tries to move itself forward.
It's kind of a lumbering, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, when it goes to stand up above the grass level there, you can see the knuckle kind of shifts over a bit.
Yeah. I do see what you're talking about. It's not very fluid. There's like a rumble gait, like it's like it's really limping or it's dragging its back end or something. I don't know what we're looking at, but I'm pretty sure this is some kind of hoax. I don't think there's anything of merit here. I just wanted to show you guys, let you guys be the judge, but I think this is it is. Well, let's say what it is though. They did the interesting thing is that they kept it slightly out of focus. They kept it. There's a consistency to the whole video that matches from the background to the sky to the grass. And there is some grass that disappears too as it's walking through and then doubles up. So I just saw that this last time. But it is the kind of the cool thing is that it's not pristine. It's not sharp focused. It's very intentionally a little bit blurry and a little bit ambiguous. So, I've got to give them credit that it's not a horrible hoax, but, obviously it's clearly not a real thing. Are we agreed?
Yeah. AI videos, watching stuff like the grass and water and stuff like that is incredibly important because that is where the errors will show the most.
Yep. So, chat vote. Time to weigh in on chat. Number 1, you think this is a strange, unusual cryptid that was captured by some form of luck, or 0, some AI trickery going on here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. I think you and I, Chuck, you're on the same page though. So let's see what everybody says. Number 1, that's a real catch of a strange, unusual cryptid. 0, says Barbara. She's not in on this. She said good eye, Chucky, too, by the way. It's a hoax, Diane says. I agree, Diane. Yeshua says 0. Lisa Marie's not buying it. Michelle Wolfong, nope. Elaine, nope. Pumpkin, nope. Wizard Moon, nope. 0 BS, says Jose. Tina says nope. And Dakota says no. I think we all agree. I think it's unanimous consensus. That's the word I was looking for. That this is a bunch of crap. So there you go. First one. That was the first one, but we got more. I can finally close this tab.
AI Kaiju.
AI Kaiju. There you go. Let's get to the next one because I got more. This one I think is kind of cool. It's very well could be some pretty good potential spirit capture on a video camera. I think this is in a funeral home, as I recall, but there's not much of a backstory that we have to work with. But I think I'd seen this before on another source long ago. This source is the Pesadillas y Misterios, some Hispanic channel on Facebook. again, if you speak Spanish and you would like to check out some of their stuff, I'm sure they got a great offering of many different things to choose from. But here's the one. Watch for a little kid to walk through this this scene in just a moment here. All right, here's the setting. I think it's a funeral home. Sorry, this is small. I can't really blow it up again. This is Pesadillas y Misterios. And let's check it out. Here we go.
Este video fue grabado por la...
I'm not going to bother with the language because look at that. Where'd he go? Boom. He kind of fades out. Now, this is apparently in a funeral home. And the kid kind of wanders through the hallway there. Or between the chairs. And as he turns right, he's gone. So...
And this is seemingly at night because it's all night vision.
Yeah, it's all night. This is a security camera of some kind, I guess. I don't speak Spanish, so I can't interpret. Jose, I don't know if you're fluent, but if you can read that chat and let me know what it's saying, that'd be cool. I should have sent it to you first, Jose. Have you translate. I'm making an assumption that you are fluent in Spanish, but if I'm wrong, I apologize. Y muchos niños y niño. So, but he does kind of disappear there. That's a little more than freaky. Brent, I found the pale crawler video that Chucky was talking about. I sent it to your Discord chat. Okay, thank you. No problem. Yes. Okay. Very cool. Thank you, Jose. If you can tell me what this is saying, that would help. Because I didn't translate it. I didn't look for a translation of it. But I do think it's potentially a good capture, but it could also just be a function of the security camera. It could have been after hours, and this kid is just somebody that comes in and vacuums their kid or something wandering around. What do you guys think? It is still playing, so let me know. Let me know. 1, you think this is a good capture of a spirit? Or 0, some glitch of the camera. Okay, well, anybody can translate. 1, Karen Alberting's all in. Yeshua's all in on this one. Dakota's all in. I'm looking for my mouse so I can look at Rumble, see what's going on. Rachel's all in on this one. 1 definitely real, Jose says. Yeah. Kat Doherty's not so much convinced. Fair enough. Barbara's all in. Funeral homes don't talk about unusual experiences that happen there. True, I don't think that it's probably something that they market. But if somebody...
Yeah, not good for business.
Yeah. Hey, we'll put your body to rest, but we're not responsible for the soul. Elaine says 1, potential. Pumpkins all in on this. Good. 1, but could be fake. Fair enough, weird travelers, for sure. And again, we can't be definitive here, but... It seems like it's a good capture if it is indeed happening after hours, generally speaking.
Not necessarily fake. It's either a real child with a camera glitch or it's a legitimate capture.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it, because I think this child is truly there in this experience, but is it a spiritual child or is it just a refresh issue with a security camera? And it could be. They are known to sometimes produce these ghostly fadings of people walking by. There's tons of Ring cameras that have ghosts walking by people's houses, but it could very well just be an issue with the sensor and how often it refreshes. So, but it looks like it's a good capture though. I mean, I gotta say, well, 27 years in the cemetery business, Dog Digger said, okay. Yeah, and you're right. I don't think this probably isn't the funeral home perpetuating this. If it is indeed there and this is where it comes from. But if somebody got a hold of that video and was like, hey, check what we caught. I'm just saying, could have been snuck out of there. But interesting. Linda's all in. Mike Prine's all in. Yeah, I think it's good. Did we get spirits tend to move this way in a very quick and smooth fashion? Yeah. Well, I'll put the link to this video in the chats if anybody wants to translate it and let me know what it said. I'd appreciate that. But I'll put the links to the chats, and you guys can, if any of you are fluent in Spanish and can understand what is being said, that'd be great. There you go. the links are in the chats that I can give you. If you're watching on Facebook or X, you may not be seeing that, but if you're on YouTube, Rumble, or Twitch, you will see that link pop up. So I think it's interesting, though. Very cool. Who's that stumbling around in the dark? That's, the sad part is that if it is real, then that could be a little kid spirit that's kind of wandering. And I don't like that. Or at least it could look like a little kid spirit. But anyway, you be the judge. I don't pretend to know for sure. I just think it looks like a pretty decent capture. And it looks like it could be legitimate, but it could also be a camera glitch. So just putting it out there, letting you guys be the judge. All right. I got to look at the next one that I got pulled up for you guys. This one is kind of a classic. It's been around a long time. I really like this one because this is one that I found years and years ago. And it was just watching a guy going through old mines. And he would explain. His channel is built around going to old mines, explaining, the history, talking about how they did everything in the mines. And something goes sideways for this guy. Now, this guy is not known for paranormal stuff at all. He had no intention of capturing something weird or unusual, but he has a couple of videos where he caught something very strange. And this is one of them. This is the one that I think really freaked me out the most. So I'm going to share that with you guys now. You may already be familiar with it if you're into the paranormal stuff. You may be like, oh yeah, I heard about this one. I got to size it down a little bit. This is a little bit over a minute, maybe up to 2 minutes. This video has like 7 million views. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Didn't mean to do that.
We're on a mission to get to...
Oh, no, we're not. We're not, Mr. Beast. We're not right now. I just got to get through this part and be able to skip the ad first. Sorry, I'm getting froggy. I'm a little dry. All right, so I'm going to start at the 11:21 minute mark, and that'll leave about 2 minutes of this video left to watch. Again, I love this video because this guy wasn't looking for this stuff. He was just talking about an old mine. And in this video, he starts, he gets this promotion deal where this company sends him this really good flashlight. So he does a test of the flashlight as he's in this cave, and he talks about the features and stuff. And then he's kind of, after that, he's kind of working his way out of the cave. And that's when the weirdness happens. And again, this isn't what this guy's known for. He goes into abandoned mines all the time. That's what he's known for doing. Exploring these old mines, talking about the history, talking about how they did the mining back then and what you're looking at. But he ended up capturing this. So I'm going to quit setting up the clip now and let you guys see. This is the video. This is coming from Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places. And this is the video. And again, I found this years ago. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But let's take a look.
That's really dangerous. So we'll get through here as fast as we can and get out of here before this all comes down. Here's that ore chute again. And I gotta get past this chute.
Listen carefully. If you've got headphones, put them on. I do. You're right, Elaine.
Wow. Crazy. And then you can see how big these timbers are. That's about almost a foot in diameter, the big cross timbers. So they had to put big ones in here to hold up all of this rock. You can see right here.
What's that?
Can you imagine packing that down into that mine?
Packing what?
Those logs.
Oh, no, I can't. I can't at all. Okay, so we got to be quiet, though, and let's listen to this because it's all audio. Okay?
Where some of these boards are bending. Do you hear that? Sounds like, what, is that wind? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. Do you hear that? It stopped. Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow. I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here and head back out to the portal.
Did you guys hear that? Did everybody hear that? He's down in a cave. He's just doing a normal walkthrough, talking about the construction. Again, that's what his channel's about. Is just going into these old mines and talking about the construction. But did you hear that, Chucky?
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, let's listen to it again.
That's really dangerous. So we'll get through here as fast as we can and get out of here before this all comes down. Here's that ore chute again. Now I gotta get past this chute. Wow, crazy. And then you can see how big these timbers are. That's about almost a foot in diameter, the big cross timber. So they had to put big ones in here to hold up all of this rock. And you can see right here where some of these boards are bending. Do you hear that? Sounds like what is that, wind? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. Do you hear that? It stopped. Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow. I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here and head back out to the portal.
Now this guy's got to have testicles the size of bowling balls.
Oh, yeah.
He's alone doing this, first of all, which I'm like, man, this guy is just brave as hell. Because, I don't know. What if it did collapse and he's all by himself? And what do? What if you broke something and you couldn't crawl out? That's it. It's game over. But those voices, come on. I mean, it sounds like several whispering voices around him, like in a language you can't hear. You can't make out any words, but it's like they're almost chanting or something.
Yeah, and it kind of echoes too.
Yeah, it's got a real ethereal reverb quality to it. It's very, very, very freaky. And again, I just got to say this again. This is not what this guy is known for. His videos go to exploring abandoned mines and unusual places. His videos are about doing just that. And he catches other. There's at least one more video that I know he's captured where these chains hanging deep in
That's the one
from the ceiling. He catches them swinging, just a few of them. It's not all of them are swinging, but a few of them inside are like really swinging. He's like, oh, I don't know why that's swinging. That doesn't make any sense. But he's got to be brave. Yeah, there's no language detected. If it detects a language, it'll be him narrating and it'll say English. So because he has the most prominent voice. But yeah, it's crazy. I'll put a link to this in the chat so you guys can check it out for yourself. Watch the whole video because, his channel is fascinating anyway. I stumbled onto it just because I was curious about old mines, and then I caught this years ago, and I was like, what? When is this video? It's from 8 years ago. And, it's got over 7 million views now, but when I found it, it only had a handful of views back in the day. So, oh, okay. So Jose translated that last video. Translation, in reality, was this boy. This video was recorded by the security camera of a funeral home where it is thought that no one should be there, and much less a boy. What do you think? Awesome, Jose. Thank you so much for translating that for me. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I thought it was a funeral home, but here's the link to the video that we're just watching now of this crazy, I guess, mine explorer is the best way to put it. But he sounds like a fascinating guy, but I mean, he's got to be courageous as hell. Even his reactions, hearing that, it's like, you know, you can tell he's disturbed. But he's like, well, that doesn't sound like the wind. I don't know what that is, but I guess we better get out of here. It's like he's
brown
all,
pant moment.
Yeah, exactly. He's all done. He's like, yeah, that's good enough for me. I think we should go. And so they do. So I think I'll save that video, the other one that Rachel sent me a link for Friday's show, and we'll go over that then. And that will be the Pale Crawler video Chucky was talking about. But we got to get to at least one cryptid thing, or else might be a mutiny in here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, but check out the video, the whole video for yourself. Again, it's 14, almost 15 minutes long, the whole video. Most of it is just him exploring and talking about these caves or this mine. But the voices part is just so creepy. I was like, oh, what are we listening to? What is this? It's like a bunch of voices, you know, this like a storm of voices, as if, you know what I mean? I'm thinking of like this swirling mass of different presences just kind of going through the mine is what it feels like, you know, and they just happened to catch where he was at. And then he went back to hear it again, and then it came back towards him. So I don't know. But it's transitory. You can hear that it kind of gets starts softer, gets really loud at one point, and then moves away again. So it seems like it's like a consciousness of some kind. But what is it? I don't know. Is that an ancient earth spirit? Is that an elemental spirit? I don't. Or worse, yeah. Or a Balrog. No. No. It's
Well, I've been listening to a lot of Canadian tales of dwarves.
Oh,
and a lot of them live in the mountains, in caves and stuff.
Sure. Would they be visible to us?
In the Native American tales, they were, yeah.
Okay.
Often they would try to be secret from most people, and they would, stumble across like one friendly soul and invite them in for dinner, and they'd have a never-ending cauldron of soup kind of thing. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, or a lucky arrowhead. If they blessed a hunter, they'd give them an arrowhead, and then they'd be lucky in their hunts.
Oh, cool.
Stories like that. Yeah, they're not malicious. They're generally benevolent.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like the stories of a lot of the gnomes, except the red caps apparently don't like us, but there's a lot of different gnomes out there, and little people, the proto-pygmy kind of thing, where they're fine, but they just avoid us. So I think the world is alive with things that we just don't understand. And that's kind of the whole journey. So let's get to the next part of the show, or the last part. For one story, we'll only have time for one story, but I'm going to give you a story because I started a little late, and I at least owe you one. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Cryptid Corner. We'll have time for one story here. We're going to go right to Phantoms and Monsters. This is Lon Strickler's site, and exceptionally well done. I'm just so glad that it's back. I really missed this site because it's just been such a staple of incredible encounters encompassing a whole array of different phenomena. So Lon does a hell of a job. He's updating this every day, several times a day. And I hope that you definitely put phantomsandmonsters.com on your bookmarks and visit it often. Lon's doing an incredible job and has done a hell of a job. And he also does a live stream. He has Phantoms and Monsters Radio is his podcast, and you can find his YouTube channel. He streams every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So on Friday night, start out at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune into Lon, watch his show for an hour, then come hang out with me on the portal at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern, and hang out with me for 2 hours, and then hang out with Dave Scott to close out the 3-hour spaced out radio. So it's just a hell of a night on Fridays. So please support what they're doing. Here we go. From phantomsandmonsters.com comes this story. Mournful crying Bigfoot encountered by family in White City, Illinois. So this is a brand new one. This one, it looks like it was, when was this posted? I don't have a date on this one. Okay. So, it was just posted recently because he just rebuilt this whole site, but I'm not sure when the story comes from, but maybe it'll tell us in the narrative. A family in White City, Illinois reported hearing strange, mournful cries and later witnessing a black fur-covered creature running on all fours before rising to its hind legs and scaling an embankment with ease. I'm writing to you from West Central Illinois. My wife, daughter, and I used to spend countless hours playing in a creek near our home in White City, Illinois. And this is primarily rural wooded area situated between St. Louis, Missouri and Springfield, Illinois. I never expected to have such experiences in this area, but here are our encounters in my own words. Here we go. The first few encounters occurred in late spring and summer. We would ride our side-by-side vehicle down the road and park near a bridge over Cahokia Creek. And this area was very private, allowing us to spend the afternoon wading through the creek, searching for arrowheads, old glass bottles, and more. After heavy rains, the layout of the creek would change, so there was always something new to discover each trip. On a typical day, we brought a bucket to pick up trash. My wife and I would sit on the sandy banks while our daughter splashed around and played in the water. On multiple occasions, we heard what we thought was a cougar. The sound was strange to us, but we never considered that it could be one of the forest people. The only way I can describe is what it sounded like a sad Wookiee, the character from Star Wars. We initially attributed the noise to a cougar, which is not common in the area but could be possible. I always carried a weapon, so we weren't very concerned, just aware. And this occurred 2 or 3 times. I drove over that bridge daily for work. I believe it was 2019 and I was working 7 days a week because of the flooding from the Mississippi River. One afternoon around 4 p.m., I was crossing the bridge and heading along the road. The creek is situated at the bottom of an area that is wooded, and half farmland. And as I came down, I saw trees forming a canopy on both sides of the road, and the sun was shining through the lush foliage, providing clear visibility. Sorry, I had a cough. Suddenly, I saw something run out of the trees on the left side of the road on all fours. It was solid black, covered in short to medium length hair and about the size of a black bear. The encounter happened so fast that I only have a vague memory of it. The creature ran out from the left and across the road to the right side. On the right, there was an embankment that would require strength and grip to ascend easily. While running on all fours, this being stood up on its hind legs and climbed the embankment with ease. The whole experience was disorienting. A few minutes later, I called my neighbor who had lived in the area for almost 50 years. I asked him if he'd ever heard of bears being in this area, and he mentioned that some have been released to help control the cougar population far to the south. However, he assured me that there were no bears around and suggested that I was crazy. I've discounted my experience for several years, but the only crazy part is his assertion about releasing bears. I've been watching your channels for almost 2 years now, and I'm confident that what I saw was neither a black bear nor a cougar. The speed and agility of that creature, along with the sounds my family and I heard, are unmistakable. And I'm thankful for our experience wasn't as traumatic as others have reported, and I wish the best for those who have had negative encounters. We no longer live in that area and are currently in a 100% rural setting, and we only hear coyotes at night and occasional fox along the tree line behind our house. I've attached some aerial photos of the area. The location of our encounter is the center of the photographs. The Google Maps street view and the exact location where I saw the being cross the road and ascend the embankment. Well, there you go. And it was transcribed from a YouTube channel. I don't know which channel this is, but okay. Cool story. I guess that's
Is there
it.
photos below that?
No, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like Lon included those. We just end off into the advertisements and stuff. But yeah, it would have been neat to see those photos. But
Yeah, sure would.
I don't know. Let me just see if I can grab this and see if I can pull it up, just to see what that might be.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know whose channel it might have been from initially. And I'm pretty sure I don't want the sound. The Facts by How to Hunt. So this is from Steve.
Oh, okay. Well,
Isdall.
that could be anywhere in this compilation.
Yeah, it's an hour and 7 minutes, so I'm not sure where that would be. Yeah, I can look, but yeah, I don't generally cover Steve's stuff, not because I have anything against the guy. It's just I've never talked to him. So I didn't want to just start grabbing his stuff and saying, hey, it's on my show.
Yeah.
You know. But I'll tell you what, that is the show tonight. Chucky, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was great. Actually, since that's over by Cahokia, Philip chasing mound builders, he actually got escorted by a Sasquatch over in Cahokia.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Is Phil in here right now?
I don't think so. I didn't see him tonight. But...
Well, 10 demerits for Phil. That's it. Okay. That's interesting, though. The same area, though.
Yeah. He was over there looking at the mounds and walking along the trails. And when he was in a heavily wooded area, he said he got something running along the ridgeline beside him.
Ooh. Yeah, Phil's had some incredible experiences. He's another one of those guys that really has been a magnet for the strange and unusual.
Definitely, yeah.
Yep. Wow. Great guy, though. Very cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
Chucky, how can people stay in touch with you, brother?
Catch me on Instagram at Chucky_danger. I've dropped my link to my Discord in the chat earlier. And you can find me on Spotify at The Danger Zone Podcast with Chucky Danger.
There you go. Guys, definitely support Chucky and all he's doing. Just a fantastic guy. Obviously, because he's here on the show. He's from the portal. That's where we got him. So I'm glad to see that you're out there doing your show, and hope that it continues to grow amazingly for you, brother. But thanks for being on with me.
Oh yeah, I mean it's always fun.
Excellent.
Hope I didn't scar everyone too much with disturbing knowledge.
No, not more than anyone else does here on the show. I mean, it doesn't usually take us too long to get into the disgusting stuff somewhere, so it happens. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. So thank you all for being here, being a part of the journey. I'll be back on Friday night. I think Sheldon will be joining me. It'll be getting close. And then Saturday night now, next week, don't look for any live shows. There may be impromptu live streams from the Phenomicon event, but other than that, I'm going to be on the road with Sheldon next week. So it's going to be, I'm going to be pretty incognito for the most part. I'll be obviously keeping up with messages on Facebook and email and stuff. So if you want to reach out to me, definitely email me. That's your best bet. Then I'm going to see it. Other than that, that's it. That's all we got. Grandizer says, drop your cell, Chucky. We'll call you up.
I'll just dox myself.
Just dox yourself. Let the whole world know how to stay in touch with you, Chucky. And order your pizzas.
I would say no.
Yeah, no, but you got to pay for them then. So, yeah. All right, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the bad part. If they pay for them.
Kind of like getting swatted, but with pizza.
You've got like 3 different carriers showing up all with big deep dish pizzas. Damn it.
Oh, I did that one time.
Oh, do you have a competition?
Ordered Panago and Domino's because the one order didn't look like it went through, so you ordered from another one, and they both showed up at the same time.
They start a fist fight out there because they're pizza.
We were kind of hoping they would.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, thank you all for being here. And I guess, like I said, that's all we got for tonight. So we'll pick it up again on Friday night and then Saturday. And then next week, I'm off the map. I'm off the grid for a while, but I'll be back. And I'll be streaming to you as much as I can from Vernal when I can. But it's going to be a lot of things going on. So that's it. Good night. Sweet dreams. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other and help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. And go hang out with Dave Scott over on, well, I guess I don't know if Dave is live tonight or not, actually. I don't know if they're doing live shows this week or if he's redoing his studio. So he's a busy guy right now.
He
But
popped in a chat earlier.
did he? Oh, God bless the man. I love that guy. He's great. But that's all we got. That's it. I keep saying goodbye, but I hate that part. That's my least favorite part of every show is when I got to say goodnight. But I do have to relax and rest my voice. So good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Rolling the credits, Chucky.